What's up, guys? Sorry for having this out a lot later than I wanted it to be, but this is the first part of my Regice commentary. I intended to have this go up before Independence Day, but it's coming out after Independence Day because there were a couple of errors with recording commentary and it was late, and I had, well, plans for Independence Day. As you're hearing this, it should be either right before or right after I'm doing the EX raid for July the 5th, so expect that along with the one I did last week to go up sometime in the next few days. We already know about the exciting stuff happening this weekend, I'm hoping, which is, of course, Articuno Day on Saturday and Squirtle's Community Day on Sunday. For Articuno Day, now that all the goals have been reached, you should know that depending on the time of day, if you don't know this already, depending on the time zone you're in, what region of the world you're in, the time that Articuno will be available will be different. Articuno won't be available at the same time across the entire world because it's a raid-related function, and raids aren't available at all at the same time across the entire world. So it's available for a 3-hour window, depending on what region you're in. Where I am, it is 2 to 5 p.m., which is Eastern Standard Time. I'm in the Eastern Standard Time zone. I'm in the Americas. So, sorry for that little freeze there, but in the Americas, yeah. And you can figure out what it is based on the official announcement. It's 11 to 2 in the Pacific. And the other times are listed in the various other regions. And it's Europe and Africa, I think, are one region, and then Asia Pacific is another separate region, and it's different time zones depending on where you are. So I would recommend you check out the official Articuno announcement, which can be found at PokemonGoLive.com. This is a separate thing, but notice how the Regice hitbox here is so weird. I don't mind that I dropped that ball. That's not subpar gameplay or anything. But if you don't know already, this was the original hitbox for Regice, you know, a little point of his head being the center of the circle. And now it's switched to his crotch, basically. I don't have any difficulty adjusting. Regice is kind of easy to hit. He's kind of like Groudon, except he jumps and Groudon doesn't, but he doesn't move off to the side. He doesn't seem particularly aggressive for me either. So, he seems to be rather easy. The only problem is he's not good, especially compared to the fact that, compared to Articuno, which will be up and available this Saturday, July the 7th. Continuing on that train of thought, I am setting up plans in advance to have a meet. Well, I'm not having a meet, but I'm meeting up with people, and we're gonna go run around and trying to get as many Articuno raids in as we can. The general assumption in the group of people that I raid with is that the shiny rate will be higher than the normal legendary shiny rate of 1 in 19, and I'm gonna cite my the Sylph Road here on this one. And this is I'm just going to aside really quick. You saw that with that where like I couldn't do anything for a good, I think, 20 seconds. That happened to half the people in the raid, and I'll tell you right now, my service is actually really good. My connection is really good, so I don't think that it was like a carrier problem. It must be like a server-related problem. But this has happened quite a bit in the experience of me and people who I raid with, that at random times, like half the people in the raid battle will find themselves unable to continue to participate. And I uploaded a video like this a couple of weeks ago, and it was a Kyogre raid, and that's where everybody just couldn't do anything, and we were all kicked out. And it was across multiple lobbies, too. Like, there's more than one lobby going on in that Kyogre at the same time, but everybody ended up glitching out and unable to fight in the battle. So, just saying, if the raid system is not... I don't think it is officially out of beta. If it is, go ahead and correct me. But if it is, this is why it should still be in beta, and if it isn't, and I'm pretty sure it still isn't out of beta, this is why. Uh-oh. What just happened? If you don't know, like, I edit all the footage together beforehand, and then I commentate over it, and for some reason, like, my video player just crashed while I was commentating. So I'm just going to pick up where I left off. I remembered where I was commentating. So don't mind if, like, suddenly there's a little pickup in the audio track that you're hearing now, because that's just me editing out the part where I had to close out the video player completely and then reopen it and then get back to where I was. But I lost my train of thought, actually, but I remember I was talking about Articuno. Yeah, so what's happening, at least where I am, is we're all meeting up and we're going to ride around the city and get in as many Articuno raids as possible. And this is actually going to be necessary if you want to get as many Articuno done as possible and you don't have like an extremely high gym density. And this is because we're assuming that not all raid eggs that appear are going to be tier 5. So there's that. During the hours, Articuno will be available. And Niantic has confirmed that Regice will still spawn during the Articuno hours. So this guy will still be available. So because of all of this, our general assumption is that Articuno's shiny rate is going to be higher than the normal, like, Sylph Road confirmed 1 in 19 shiny rate. And we're not taking any chances. We want to get as many Articuno raids in as possible. I'm hoping to get in. I'm going to set the bar real low. I'm going to say 10. 10. 3 hours of just running around doing raids. Maybe I'll get 10 in. That's a real low bar. Hoping for 15. We'll see. I'm just going to talk about Articuno in this one, just because I'm actually doing a double recording. I'm recording tomorrow's. Well, this one's going up tomorrow, but I'm recording the one for the day after as well. And I'm going to try and... I'm just going to, from this point on, do a bunch of them at once. Because what I've been normally doing is I've been putting a video together for the next video I'm putting up. I'm just going to do that one, and then I would put it up, right? So, because this one is going to be a little bit easier to... this, at least, format's going to be a little bit easier to mass produce. In terms of putting together the footage, and then putting the audio track over it. I figured I may as well just edit together a bunch of these on one day, and then commentate over all of them at once, either that same day or the next day, and just have them all ready to be put up. And I don't have to put them all up at once either. I can space it out. And that allows me a lot more freedom with distributing content, like making more of it, and it makes it a little bit more manageable schedule-wise. You know what I'm saying? So, that's going to be the general idea on how this is going to go from now on. Sorry if things are going to be a little irregular in uploads, at least for the next couple of days, maybe the next week. But that's just scheduling issues and stuff like that. So don't worry. I'm not abandoning the channel or anything. Excuse me. But anyway, you should already know about the important things with Articuno. It and Regice are kind of tied for best ice type at the moment. They're both really defensive, so they're not really good offensively as ice types. Articuno's got the better offensive presence, though. And its optimal moveset, assuming Niantic doesn't change it upon re-release, is going to be Frost Breath and Ice Beam. With Blizzard overtaking it in certain scenarios, get rid of Icy Wind. That's just terrible. Don't keep that on your Articuno unless you're interested in having a legendary with terrible moves. And the shiny, like, I'm going after it because it's going to be so rare to own a shiny Articuno. Shiny Articuno, sorry for that terrible speech right there. Shiny Articuno, but it's one of the more underwhelming shinies, at least to me, because the shiny, from normal Articuno to shiny Articuno, it goes from sky blue with dark blue accents to light blue with white accents, pretty much. It's not much of a change. So that's unfortunate. But you know what, it's a shiny, and it's going to be a shiny legendary, and that's going to be worth a lot. And if I get multiples, that's even better. Continuing discussing... I'm going to save Squirtle for the next session, which is going to happen right after I finish this one. So I'm pretty much done talking about Articuno. If you don't know, this just crossed my mind, the best counter now is Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar, which makes Articuno so easy that I believe with weather boost, I think, at level 25, 6 level 25 Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitars. So let's assume 2 trainers have a team each of 6 Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar, and they're all at level 25, and they're all perfect FE'd, right? So the ideal level 25 Smackdown Stone Edge Tyranitar, 12 of them can take down Articuno. So if you have 6 level 30s, without, I think it's with Weather Boost. Without Weather Boost, it's probably possible at level 30. But that's where we are now, right? Articuno can be reliably duoed, at least in theory, with Smackdown Stone Edge Tyrannitars. I'm going to keep an eye on how things go in Asia, because I believe if it's going to be like Community Day and they're held at the same hours, and I'm pretty sure it is in every region, then the Asia Pacific region is going to have their shot at Articuno first. So I'm not going to have any videos up between what happens in the Asia Pacific region for Articuno and Articuno Day itself, and I don't think a lot of people will. So my recommendation to you is, if you want to know as it is happening in real time how Articuno is going down, what the shiny rates are, etc., and you're living in the Americas or Europe and Africa, of course, so you'll be able to take advantage of that information, then go to really our Reddit Pokemon Go subreddit, sorry, and the Sylph Road subreddit. I think there's actually a separate Pokemon Go rating subreddit as well that you should also visit for information regarding what's happening for Articuno Day in the Asia Pacific region. Assuming you're not already there, so you're not experiencing it firsthand, if you want to know and want to know what to expect, various first-time observations on it before your region experiences it, just check out those sites, because they'll have real-time, right as it's happening, information. And of course, if any people actually get videos out about what's happening there, because I'm pretty sure there are a couple of YouTubers in the Asia Pacific region, and I think Australia has their chance at Shiny Articuno first as well, before we do. So we here in the Americas do. So they'll probably have stuff up too before we have our own chance at it. So there's a lot of places to look for on-the-spot information. Anyway, that's all. If you don't have Smackdown Tyranitar, of course, I forgot to say this, Rock Throw Stone Edge Golem still works just as well. Just beware, the commentary's already over, but beware that Tyranitar is the only rock counter at the moment, the only viable rock counter that will not be destroyed by Articuno's ice moves, and that's all the moves it knows. It only knows ice moves. Tyranitar is the only one of those Pokemon that has nothing to fear from ice moves. So that's the safe bet. If not, be cautious, but use your army of Golems back from when Articuno was around the first time. Other rock types also work. Rock Throw, Rock Slide, Omastar if you have it. It's a meme at this point, but if you have it. Stone Edge, Kabutops even Sudowoodo if you just don't have anything better. But Articuno is double weak to Rock. That's a weakness you want to take advantage of. It's also weak to Steel and Fire, so if you've got those legendary Fire types, or Metagross, go in on Articuno with what you have. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I highly recommend you participate. However, if you can only do one day out of the weekend, I don't know. Pick whichever one you want more of. Squirtle's to me, it's a little bit more exciting because it's not just raiding, and I enjoy doing as many aspects of the game as possible. But I'm going to talk about Squirtle specifically in the next one. So give me a like, comment, and subscribe for more. Hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one.